very simple. It is a bill that says across America there are going to be paper ballots that cannot be hacked. And across America, we're going to have audits of elections to make sure that after you voted, you have a review to make sure that everybody's vote actually counted.
Securing American elections, that was the message today in Southeast Portland. Senator Ron Wyden joined Representative Earl Blumenauer in an effort to help take Oregon's vote-by-mail system national. And Senator Wyden joins us right now. Always good to see you, Senator.
Thank you.
It's not so much vote-by-mail, it's the fact that it's a paper ballot. And with all the controversy surrounding this last election, with hacking, election hacking, maybe doing something the old-fashioned way is the way to do it.
That's the heart of it. And look, Vladimir Putin does not wish our democracy well. He is almost like a burglar knocking on the doors and the windows just looking for an opportunity to break in. And he's got one big advantage. Across the country, there is a big lobby for these voting machines. And these voting machines can make big money, and often they cut corners. For example, we learned at one point there was remote access software in them. That is about as dumb as putting our ballot boxes on Moscow Square.
Isn't that funny that the old way of doing something is sometimes the best way in this age of technology?
My hope is, and maybe someday somebody is going to come up with something better. We'll make sure now that there are paper ballots for everyone, and the audits, I hope to take vote by mail national. We've got more than 20 senators on it, but the intelligence community says that the red lights are blaring right now, and that ought to be a wake-up call to pass our bill.
What sort of effect do you think the vote by mail would have on the election results?
What we have seen, because we have now had vote by mail for 20 years in our state. In fact, I am the first United States senator elected completely by mail. Voters like it. They like the time in order to be able to look at the issues. We have not seen fraud, and it actually saves money. So we have a 20-year track record demonstrating it works.
Okay, let's talk about President Trump making news this week by revoking the security clearance of John Brennan and threatening to revoke the security clearance of other former intelligence officials. You spoke out strongly against that, as did people on both sides of the aisle.
Here is my take, and I'm on the Intelligence Committee. I've disagreed with John Brennan on plenty of matters. In particular, I led the fight when it was clear he was spying on the Intelligence Committee over matters relating to torture. So we have disagreed plenty on policy, but it seems to me what President Trump now is doing really moves our country to the president having an enemies list, a list of people who, in effect, he's going to target. He's going to try to scapegoat at every opportunity. You have an enemies list. That is not what our freedoms are all about, and it's going to be bad for safety.
Let's switch gears for a moment now. Obviously, it goes without saying that this summer has been horrible in terms of wildfires. What do you think the government needs to be doing in order to better handle these types of wildfires?
After the Congress passed my law for us to get serious about fire prevention and do this by ending fire borrowing, a lot of people say, hey, Ron had a good law, but isn't it going to take a little while to make the prevention pay off? The answer is yes, and so I proposed, and the Forest Service agreed to do it yesterday, that we move immediately to start an aggressive program of thinning out the hazardous fuels that have really constituted a big backlog, and when it gets hot and dry and you have a lightning strike, they're a magnet for fires. That was what was announced yesterday.
And you were pretty passionate on the floor of the Senate yesterday arguing for this and trying to convince people. You say, we've never seen the West on fire like this. In the last few years, this has been unprecedented.
These are not your grandfather's fires. They are bigger, they're hotter, they're more powerful. I can tell you it is stunning, for example, to go to rural Oregon and have the agencies literally put out some kind of alert at the end of the day where people can go to find clean air. We're going to have, if this continues in the West, we are going to have clean air refugees where people, particularly young people and senior citizens, are really going to be vulnerable.
All right. Senator Ron Wyden, thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you
right.
so much.
Pleasure.